Good rise, peace and blessings. Salam, shalom, in Hutepu. How are you guys? I really hope that you have brought some interesting wisdom back from the other side that you can use. See how many of y'all are awake this morning. Peace and blessings, Miss Gen V. How you doing? Good morning, Miss Evelyn. Peace, Miss Alexis. Alan, it is always a pleasure. Uversa, nice to have you. Yo, man. I told y'all that these changes were gonna come quick and fast. And you were going to have to be ready for this shift. We are entering a winter equinox that has a full moon and a meteor shower. 100 years before this happens again or has happened. Really beautiful. The reason we don't make change easily is because you're fighting for what is familiar to you. And it's really interesting to watch people ask for change and still fight for the familiarity. If you want to change, you gotta do different shit. You can't do the same thing over and over again and expect different results. So you want change? The world throw you a curveball and you lay down on the ground crying because you want it just like it was. When you should be relaxing, breathing, and engaging the change. Like babies that don't want to go to sleep. And we hop from one foot to the other with the universe. We want this, and as soon as it sends that thing that is unfamiliar, because change is unfamiliar things. Good morning, Terrell. How you doing? Peace and blessings to everybody that has entered the room. Please share this. You never know who needs it. Change is different. Change is not going to be the same thing that you did yesterday. Change is going to be new. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be scary. It's going to be unfamiliar. If you want change, you can't cry for the same thing. And when it changed, you can't say, oh no, I didn't want that. You should have been a little more clear about what you wanted. But hey, time waits for no man or woman. And when the cosmos itself is shifting and you do not, you will break. How you doing, Kadeem? Your mind, you will go crazy. We are shifting positions in the cosmos. Our sun is shifting position in the cosmos. Different radiation waves, different consciousness, different frequencies are now listen to this. The constellation of Orion fell for 2,000 years. The year 2000, the year those dragon children were born, who are now coming into their own. We're coming into the last of the dragon children turning 18. And I had a dragon child. So I was able to keep up with this, and I'm still able to keep up with it because my dragon child was born January 13th. So I get a reminder all year about the progression of these dragon children that were born the year that Osiris, or Orion's belt, the constellation of Orion, finally finished falling and touched the earth. The constellation of Orion has been rising again for the last 18 years. It was the definite signal that we are in the age of Aquarius, and the consciousness of the meek of the earth would begin to rise again. Y'all want to know what those pyramids are for? Another reason those pyramids are here, it was to help to keep the collective consciousness of the planet raised, which is why they are on ley lines. It was to help us not fall into the depths of the darkness that we are headed into. It was to stay off. It was to stay off the primitiveness that we were going to have to go to rise again. And we broke them. We did not care for them. So we fell. And we forgot, which was also part of the process. And while we were in our forgetfulness, we were bred into something different. Y'all, the past is not going to help us solve this problem. Our sun is emitting new energy. Our planet herself has entered a new realm. We are in a new age. So what worked for us in the past is not going to work for us in the future. You cannot relive an age. If you're 40, you can't go back and live 21. If you're 50, you can't go back and live 16. Why would you want to? I don't know any woman that has gotten into her cronism, and that's the third stage of being a woman, because I don't want anybody to think that I'm talking about women. I'm talking about the 3 stages of woman. She is a maid, a maiden, then a crone. I don't know no woman, and that includes myself, that has gotten to the crone stage and want to go back to being a maiden. I'm good. I don't want none of that no more. So why are we asking ourselves to relive things that were only good for us back then? Because see, what's good for a 50-year-old woman ain't necessarily good for a 16-year-old girl. Because see, that 50-year-old woman has been through childbirth. She's been through a few things that no longer fly with her like a 16-year-old. If we want something new, we have to commit ourselves to new behaviors, new ways of thinking, more insight into what is real versus the fairy tales that we are always told. When will we put down the philosophy that a woman jumped out of a man's rib? That's a fucking fairy tale. When will we come to what is real and true? That is not a man or a woman on the planet that did not come from a woman's womb. Period. Because that is what is true. That is what is true. Why can't we talk about what is true? In basic form of life, something gotta be dead. Either the egg is dead or the sperm is dead. Excuse me. The egg has life. Just like that sperm has life. They both just have a certain amount of life in them as they are. They got a life expectancy, just like you, in the form that they are. And I'm just using sperm and egg as an analogy right now. Because in one camp, the sperm is dead and the egg is alive. In another camp, the goddamn egg is dead and the sperm is alive. They both have life. It's like putting a positive charge with a negative charge. It makes a current. You can't get life from non-life. Never. Never. Dead is dead. Let me say that one more time. Dead is dead. If the egg was not living, it could not move. If the sperm was not living, it could not move. And they both travel to each other, attracted by each other. And in the egg state, that egg has so much life in it before it dies. That sperm cell has so much life in it before it dies. And if they happen to meet one another, somewhere along that path, that sperm cell enters that egg and gives the rest of its energy and information to this cell where it is now protected. It gave it the rest of its existence. So this combination of a new thing can now have a new life using the two old lives that it came from. And without the two, there is no life. the egg has a negative charge? Or should I say a positive one, depending on how you look at that XX? Look at it any way you want. It'll prove itself. It'll prove itself. Because that negative charge can only come from the XX, which is an agreement. The XY turns into positive and negative. Which is why it can carry a positive charge. Because it has two opposites to keep it charged positively. So when they come together, while they still have life in them, and they make a new life, because only one has 23 chromosomes, the other one has 23 chromosomes, you need 46 to make something new. And out of all the eggs that could have been dropped, the millions of sperm cells that was released by your father, you changed and you made it. You followed universal law to its end as a sperm cell and as an egg. Don't talk to me about what you are. You don't know what you are. Because if you did, this world would be such a different place. And it would change overnight if you knew what you are. We are the children that sit between water and fire. We are the governors of heaven and hell. We are God and the devil at once. You are a small universe that with the very sound that comes out of your mouth can change not just your life, but anybody's life. But you have to know this. It's not something I can know for you and the magic happens. You watch me because you see me working in what I know. You cannot shake me on my existence. You might be able to shake me on how I look or play on some of my insecurities that have played in my life. Some of you know me intimately enough to know that I don't see myself the way other people see me. You know, somebody asked me, how do I see myself? And the first thing I say is, I see a monster. I see a monster. But that's my perception of me. That's my perception that I work on. And I know y'all don't know that about me. That's why I decided to go ahead and lay that out on the line. I don't know what y'all see. I know what I feel. I know what people say. But for all the shit that I have done in my life, for all the shit that I have had to crawl out of, for the shit that I have had to do to secure my way, I see a little monster. I have a little monster running in my veins often and regularly. So when people tell me, you are my muse, that goes so far over my head. Because how? I'm a little monster. But I fight it. 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 Because even monsters have their place. Even monsters can be beautiful. Monsters can change the world. Monsters have the right to be loved. So no, don't you think for a minute that Master Fundi is not trying to overcome the same things you are. I am. I just have a couple mind hacks that I can run to and behind. I have training that I can run to and hide. I have discipline that I can run behind and hide. Where a lot of you don't have that type of hiding place. But you're not alone. You want to make this shift? You want to easily and coherently make this shift with the planet? Shit, relax. Breathe. Think. Most of all, relax. Breathe. Think. Y'all, we have such little nuances that are wrong with each and every one of us. The only real cure for all of these nuances, all of these little problems, the body morphing problems, the mind morphing problems, the emotional problems, the outbreak problems. Stop. Breathe! Bitch, breathe! No, not them shallow ones, deep ones. And think. Y'all see me teaching classes, but what you don't see is the anxiety that I go through before I teach the class. Indigo can tell you, I struggle with these classes. Last class, I didn't finish my notes until 2 minutes after class had started because my anxiety. You don't want people to think that you're a crackpot. A lot of this stuff, you have pseudo references because the real connections aren't made in books. They're not made over the internet. It's something that has to be observed through observation and study. And I'm like, what if they ask me this question? I have to have this answer. What if they ask me this? I have to have this answer. And then I spend all of this time doing all of this study, and now I'm neurotic. And then I have to stop. Breathe, bitch. Think. think. And then I get into the class and boom, it's over. And then I sit and my other anxieties kick in. You know, did they understand it? Did they get it? Did I not leave anybody behind? Did I stimulate the most educated person in the room? And did I pull the least educated person in the room at least to the middle? And those anxieties kick in, and I have to thank Indigo. Y'all have no idea how Indigo helps me. Indigo calls and completely like, hey, that class was fucking amazing. I can't believe, and it's like, whoa, okay, I did my job. But for 4 days, I'd been stressed out like a goddamn wood bridge with a fucking elephant crossing it. So, you know, y'all, you want change, you gotta do some different shit. To do different shit, you gotta jump past fear. Let me say that again. Dude, the safest place I have ever found is past fear. Let me say that one more time. The safest place I have ever found was going beyond fear. You gotta go through fear to be safe. And fear is our greatest obstacle. Oh no, man, I can't do that. And that's the very thing you need to change. Man, move through this world in love and not fear, and change will be easy. We change very easy in the name of love. We don't change easily in the name of fear. I watch men do it all the time. You watch a man fall in love with a woman and you about to watch something change drastically. Because when a man is in love with a woman, he will change his whole world around to accommodate that star. That sun will take a whole nother path to illuminate that sister. And you ain't got to tell him to do it. It is something that is instinctual in the male himself. Hey, don't leave sisters out, because it's instinctual in her too. When you get a sun and a planet that will line up together, they will change the very order of the universe to make that love a reality. And you ain't got to tell them to do it. Just in case you want to know if he loves you or not. Or if she loves you or not. Love changes the whole order of the universe, which is why they don't want us loving each other. Which is why your word ain't shit no more. Because love exists in words. Love does not exist on paper. I'm going to say that one more time. The only safe place is through fear. You got to bust through it. And that is one thing I am very good at. It's one thing I am very, very good at. Busting through my fears. Got to face them. Face them or they will be there forever. We are going into 19 years of Orion rising back into its place. Our curse was up when Orion touched the planet. Now that it is rising, are you? Now that the prophecy has been lifted for a solid 18 years, have you been rising, not only your physicality, but your consciousness and your spirituality to match what is happening in the heavens, as above, so below? Just like the egg and the sperm only have so much life, when we built the pyramids all around the globe, those only had so much life, even though they have lasted for so long. But because we have been lazy, because we have not done our due diligence to our ancestors, we have lost their protection. So now we must do something new. My message is not an old message. I'm not telling you wait for the masses. I'm telling you fix your individual self. If the planet is a body and we are but cells in that body, think about your body. Don't you want each individual cell to be happy, healthy, lively, doing its job? That makes for a healthy body. So ask yourself, in the body of the planet, are you a healthy cell? If not, every cell has a way to fix itself innately. And if you can't fix yourself, duplicate yourself. And as all cells that are no longer productive, excrete. Fix. How much easier and quicker would it be if each individual was given the way to fix themselves? I'm not trying to fix everybody. I want to give you the tool to fix you. I don't want you like me. I got my own set of fucking problems. I have my own set of insecurities. I have my own set of fucked up programming. I too was fucked as a child. Homeless. Like nobody gave a fuck. there. Done that. Got the t-shirt. Bought a rental property. Be a healthy individual. And Adonis, yes, each and every one of them communicate with each other. Now imagine if they all spoke different languages. How are we supposed to communicate? Huh? It comes down to babble. We don't even understand each other. If we're having a conversation and you say, yo, man, and I'm the only one standing there and I'm a girl, we have a communication problem. We don't even speak the same damn language, even though we're using the same damn words, because people want to change the meanings of words. You change the meaning of words, you change the etymology. You got to make sure everybody else is caught up on that. Or we can be speaking the same language and still not understand one another. I don't know too many men interested in mastering communication. I've listened to a brother try to explain himself, and I was sitting there like he ain't said nothing. Well, I feel like you know what I'm saying. No, I don't. Put it in the fucking words, man. Well, you see, when it come down to it, it's like this. It's like what? It's like this. Like what? Speaking the same damn language, I'm supposed to understand what the fuck you saying? Well, see, my feelings get hurt, and when my feelings get hurt, I be like that. Like what? Like what? Oh, I don't mean to tell your story. I thought I was telling mine. Nobody goes through this alone. Your story is my story, is her story, is somebody else's story, which is a variable of somebody else's story, which is why I come on here and lay myself out bare. So y'all can see that this is our story. You are not alone. My whole platform was built on that. This isn't your story. It's our story. This is a systematic way of having us live. And we don't have to. How is it we all have the same fucking story if this shit is not a systematic setup? Something does not want our planet to be healthy. Thereby, it don't want you healthy. They're poisoning our planet. They are poisoning us. They are poisoning everything. And now we're in a new space. They didn't count on this. But just like you can be conditioned and you were conditioned, you can be unconditioned. There's certain shit they don't want you to see. And seeing it fucks up the programming. It's like in Get Out. Ooh. It's like in Get Out when that flash went off. get a small window of opportunity to go, next, hold on, woo, boy, we got a problem, and then back in. So ask yourself, what you gonna do? You gonna roll gently into this change, or are you going kicking and screaming? Because if you go in kicking and screaming, you only got but so much energy in this life unless you know how to rejuvenate it. If you don't, you should be really interested in the conservation of energy, and that includes emotional energy. People don't even realize your emotional energy will drain you faster than you running New York marathons every motherfucking day, which is why the black woman in America has the systematic body breakdowns that she does, because she is, I don't care what black men say, she is the most stressed. Because, brother, even if you find a job, you gonna make more money than her. And black women on whole get paid less than everybody. And she carries a whole family by herself, and she make that shit happen. I'm not taking away from black men that make that shit happen. But we know, as an epidemic, as we call it, black women are holding down households by herself. And she's the least paid on the totem pole. So, brother, even if you do get a job, you will be paid more than your female counterpart, which means you will be able to do more. So just in case you were wondering why that sister has to hold on to that dollar till that eagle cries, that's why. Your check might be $360. Her check is $275. Big difference. And because a lot of our brothers, and here's the thing, it's like brothers think that women want to be alone. We're making our own single mom epidemic. No. No. If she's there with the children, the one that left should be the problem, not the one that's there. So women are not making this epidemic, men are. And I don't give a fuck what you say your reasoning is. You had sex with her. You had a child with her. She's your responsibility now. Guess you should have kept your little Jimmy whack to yourself, or used a condom. Or how about just control your ejaculation? But we all know that a lot of brothers don't get sexual discipline until they're way in their 20s or 30s and they've had them oops babies. But sisters, y'all not off the hook because you opened your legs for him. Just didn't open your legs for him. You let him come in you. Now, Fee, can I stop him from coming in me? Sure, you cannot have sex with him in the first goddamn place. Boom! Problem solved. But y'all don't have that kind of sexual discipline to wait till you're married, so you get what you get. And what we get is a whole bunch of bastard children. Yes, I said it. A whole bunch of children that don't even have the protection, the first protection of the Lord. See, and we take this marriage shit for kicks and giggles. You know, marriage, who needs a white man's piece of paper? It's not about the white man's piece of paper. It is about a blessing that you get from the universe over this union of these two things that gives the child protection to call on the universe because it was made in a holy union. Just in case you were wondering why our grandmothers and whatnot and our great grandmothers were concerned about bastards and you are not. See, there's information that we've lost along the way that we don't want to pick up anymore because it would require discipline. See, don't nobody want to talk about their children being bastards and wondering why they can't get any blessings. We don't want to talk about them. We don't want to go back to those old laws. Right. Marriage don't mean shit. And y'all didn't let the powers that be break your marriage down. Because we were the ones that taught them about marriage unions. And now the holiest union between man and woman has been taken down as a fad, a facade, a fashion. But let me put it to you this way. My children get what they want from the universe. And they've been able to do that since they were children. Like I was able to do it. Like my dad was able to do it. And my mom was able to do it. See, there's this line thing going on with us because we understand not just generational curses, but we also understand generational blessings. Everybody talking about, oh, I'm under a generational curse. Well, when the fuck do you get a generational blessing? Which one of you discipline yourself enough that your children get your blessing and not your sorry fucking ass? You want to talk about the story of Mary? The story of Mary, mother of Jesus, is about a woman who kept herself chaste all her life to receive a blessing from her God. And her blessing was Jesus. He was her gift. She was the discipline. It is because of her, not Joseph, that Jesus received what he got. So, sisters, this is why it is so important to keep your teenage girls chaste. My little sisters, this is why it is so important to keep yourself chaste. Well, Fee, everybody can't do it right. Yes, the fuck they can. Yes, you can. Yes, you can. You can do it right. You can do it right by making good decisions every step along the way. And a good decision means a disciplined one. You can't always have what you want. Sometimes you gotta look at that pretty boy from across the motherfucking room. You can't answer your nods when you want to. We used to be such a disciplined people. But like that white boy said that came in and studied us before the colonization took place, there are 3 things you are going to have to do before you invade these people. You will have to break their belief system. You will have to break the bond between the male and the female. And then you will have to break the bond between mother and child. They have successfully done the first. Will we allow them to continue their success with the last two? I love y'all. I'm out of here. I got shit to go do. I hope you understood this. I hope y'all got something from it. I know I'm going to hear from a couple of y'all as soon as I hit the finish button. And I don't mind. If you didn't understand something, hit me up. Remember, we got a class coming up. The 7 Gates of the Christ. The 3 is the magic number class is up for review. $20 to review it. Yours. Do what you want with it. But the next class is $20. There is a $15 scholarship up. So that just means somebody paid $5 and $15 to get that seat. There's one. Hit me up in IMs if you like it. Other than that, love y'all. Salam, shalom, inhutepu. I hope something that I've said helps you, sparks you, helps you to develop. Put some spirit in you to get through the next threshold. I love y'all. Be good to yourselves and each other. This is Master FUNDIFE, and I always have my ear to the street. My ear to the street. My ear to the street. Love y'all.